Dr. Richardson. I'm a science professor, and these are my tips on how to be prepared for class. Step 1. Go to bed on time. Yes, school is busy, there's a lot to study, there are a lot of social events, friends to talk to. But the truth is, if you don't have enough rest, you won't be able to focus and do the work you need in order to be successful in school. So, go to bed early or on time, and this usually means somewhere between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. for most individuals, and get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep for most individuals. That's usually enough rest, and that will help to recharge your body and help you to be ready and prepared to focus and study really hard. My next tip is eat breakfast. Eating food is fuel for your body and for your brain. If you don't eat and drink water, your body is not getting the right nutrients and the energy that it needs to focus and for your cells to work when you're trying to think and study. So in the morning, wake up with enough time in order to get a nutritious breakfast before going to class. My next tip is come to class early. At the beginning of class, a lot of times professors will give announcements, which is what I do, before getting started with the lecture. If you come to class right as class is starting or a little late, you'll likely miss these announcements. If you come to class at 8 a.m. for an 8 a.m. class, you have to have a little time to get settled. Aim to get to class about 5 to 10 minutes before class starts. Just pretend class starts at 7:50 instead. Now you'll be able to have time to settle in and be prepared once 8 a.m. starts and the teacher starts to speak. Now this tip you've probably heard before. Read before coming to class. This one is a little hard because you're coming to class probably because you don't understand the information. So reading the textbook may seem like a daunting task. How do I read so much information that I don't yet understand? Maybe you're not able to read everything, but you should at least familiarize yourself with what the textbook is saying. So let's say today the syllabus says that the teacher will cover chapter 3. At least know what is the title for chapter 3, what are some of those main subheadings for chapter 3, and take 5 to 10 minutes just to go and look it up online to see what those words may mean. This will help you to be better prepared when you come to class, because if you hear something that you don't understand that well, or at least have seen before, that will make your brain and mind a little bit more receptive to that information. My next tip is read your syllabus. It's hard to be prepared for class if you don't know what is going to be covered today. If you don't know if chapter 3, chapter 4 is starting in class today, or if there's going to be a quiz, or if your exam is on next class period, how can you be prepared? So, read your syllabus, take note of when different parts of the chapters are going to be covered so that you know what to prepare for before coming to class. Reading the syllabus also gives you other instructions so that you're able to complete assignments not just in a timely manner, but in an appropriate and accurate manner. And that is important to get very good grades. Now this next tip is for a couple weeks into the semester. During this time, you would have already taken a quiz and possibly an exam, and maybe even submitted some assignments as well. At this point, you want to check with your professor to see how you have done and know if there's something you need to improve on. So let's say you didn't do so well, maybe you got a C, a D, or even failed a quiz or a test. It's important to not just to try and study the same way more for the next time, but check in with your professor to see what you got wrong, think about how you studied it the first time, and discuss ways with your professor as to how you can study it better for the next time. This will help you to be prepared for future classes, assignments, and exams. My last bit of advice is, take it one day at a time. I've shared with you many tips in this video that I think are very useful in order to be prepared for class. However, all of these are habits that you would have to form, important habits. But we all know forming habits take time. So take this one step at a time. Start with one habit, one step, one approach, and hopefully it works for you. Then add another and add another. If you only do it one time, it won't be helpful. This has to be a consistent habit. Hopefully these tips will help you, if you're not already doing them, to focus more in class, be better prepared, and succeed in your future.